My name is Ken Turner. I'm the president of the Mount Pearl Municipal Workers Union, CUPE Local 2099. Obviously, we've been out now for 3 weeks. We are having issues with the language in our collective agreement and some of the concessions that the city has placed on the table. And we need to get back to the table to get some of these things removed. We've been negotiating since March. We did come forward with proposals, as with any negotiations, but we've since removed all proposals from the table in an earnest effort to try to get to an agreement with the city. The city has held steadfast on their concessions and will not move. It's actually the city that's not negotiating. I mean, to be quite frank, this union was quite prepared to just flip our contract and deal with the wages. And you know, we've come through a lot in the last few years. We certainly did not need to go down this road of trying to tear apart a contract. The city certainly didn't need to do that, but that's the path they've chosen. And we're going to stand up and we're going to fight for our members. We're going to fight for members that are coming in and new employees. We're not going to allow our contract to be torn apart. We were certainly willing to negotiate wages and carry on, but that's not what the city wanted. The pandemic's been hard on everybody. It's been hard on well, everyone across the country for that matter, especially here in Newfoundland. We've seen the rising cost of food and fuel, and just you know, inflation's gone through the roof. So wages are a discussion, but it was not the driving force behind where we are today. It's the actual language in our collective agreement and the position the city's taken on a lot of the benefits that we have that they're trying to walk back on, and we're not going to have that. I think Mayor Akers' comments around this bullying and harassment completely detract from the issues at hand, and we need to get back to the bargaining table to deal with those issues. Of course, the RNC, we've been in constant contact with the RNC. They've been to our lines, they visited our members, they see what's going on. If we had any issues, if there were any legal issues around our legal picket, then the executive or myself certainly would have heard about it. And the RNC doesn't feel that we are outside any of the bounds of what we are doing in regards to legal picketing. So I think the mayor's comments do detract, they're inflammatory, and they need to stop. And maybe we should put some of that effort into getting back to the bargaining table and get this resolved. I mean, I've said this before to the residents of Mount Pearl, this is not what we wanted. We'd ask them to be patient, try to support us by contacting council. We are residents of Mount Pearl. We live here, we work here, you know, we play here, our kids are in the same programs. We don't want this, we want this to end, but the city knew full well, we've been bargaining since March, they knew that if it came to us pulling our services, it would affect recreation facilities. So I would say it's the council and the mayor and the city who have the absolute ability to get us back to work and get our recreation facilities up and running. The union doesn't have that power. That power is in the city's hands right now, and they need to get us back to the table.
Good afternoon, security. I missed you this morning. Sorry, I was a little busy. Did you get your coffee? How you doing? You need your water? Perfect. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Mark Nichols, Marknichols. Myself and Sarah Moriarty here are both here representing the Workers' Action Network of Newfoundland and Labrador. Stable jobs, and our motto is in solidarity that we empower. We don't turn down opportunities to come alongside other workers when they're striking for better work conditions and things like that. We want to model for the workers we're trying to reach worker solidarity. Our overarching goal is to bring together to build a community of workers in low wage and precarious work, to build a collective voice, and to, in the fight for the ongoing fight for decent work conditions, which are denied in so many ways to those workers. So that's our overarching goal, and so part of what we do as that is education. We educate workers as to their rights in the workplace. If they're not part of a collective bargaining agreement like these workers are, they rely on the Labour Standards Act and some other legislation in the province. And so we try to educate them as their rights. And there's no way to do that without them seeing the glaring weaknesses in the rights they do have, because we do not have strong labor protection in this province. So we educate them. So an educated worker is a stronger worker, and we look for opportunities to bring them together to discuss issues that they're facing and find ways to move forward and address those issues. The only power a worker has at the end of the day is to withhold their labor. So the city had plenty of time to negotiate a contract with the workers that was satisfactory to the workers. This is not just this strike, but any other strike. And there's usually a negotiating period before they go on strike. So, people might be upset, but that is what a worker's power is ultimately, is to withhold their labor. And that's what this group of workers has done, and we fully support them in that decision. I have not heard any credible reports, and the times that I've been here, I have not seen the workers behave in any disrespectful way.